Hello guys, welcome to our basic programming course. Our today's topic is input and output with arrays. I'm Sukanta Paul, welcome you again in the lesson. After this lesson, students will be able to take array input using loops, print array elements correctly, use user-defined array sizes, write programs to read n numbers, and calculate sum and average of using arrays. So why loops are used with arrays actually? Arrays can store multiple values and loops allow repetitive operation. So without loops, code becomes lengthy. That's why we will use loop with arrays to take input and to show the output from the array. Without loop, we need to take the values for each index position of the array one by one. But when we use loop, then we just write for I equal to 0 and it will continue after I is less than n. Then write this statement of scanf. That's okay. So this is the simplest way of taking input into the array using loops. So each loop actually is controlled by a variable. Here for loop is controlled by a variable named I. Here we see that I will start from 0 and it will continue after n. Each time I is incremented by 1 by 1. So what is actually it is doing here? Actually, we're checking input at ith position of the ARR integer array. Since ARR is integer array, we use %d as a format specifier, where I is the index position and n is the array size. Never forget to include ampersand sign before taking input ARRI. To print every value of ARR array, you have to just write down a loop which will start from I is equal to 0 and it will continue after I is less than n when I is incremented by 1 by 1. Just write down printf statement, but there is no need of ampersand, which is actually need to take input, not to show output. Sometimes size is not actually known at compile time. So after taking input and if we use those and into the subscript of the array, that time it is known as actually runtime initialization. So user provides size actually at runtime and useful for flexible programs. But remember that size must be positive. Now we are writing a program which actually read n numbers and then save it into a variable length array. Then we just print the value of n elements. At first we need to declare a variable n, then printf statement actually show the output enter size. Then by taking scanf input, it is actually taking the input n equal to 3 here. After taking n equal to 3 by using variable length array, the array is stored actually 3 variables into the ARR array by using for loop. Then by using another for loop, we just print the every element of ARR array. Now, if we want to calculate sum using array, so what should I need to do? Initially, we just initialize sum is equal to 0, then add each element to the sum. For that, declare the sum variable and initialize it is equal to 0. Then write a loop. Inside the loop, write the statement sum plus equal to ARRI. So the loop is started from 0 and it will continue up to 3. So when I equal to 0, we get the sum is equal to 10. When I equal to 1, we get the sum as 15. When I equal to 2, we can get the sum as 36. In each time, actually, it is adding all of the elements in of the array. If we divide sum by total elements, we will get the average of n numbers. So here we use actually typecasting operator float because we know that if we divide an integer by an integer, then it will generate a only integer number. But average can be a floating point number. That's why we just use the typecasting avoids integer division. So full program of writing sum and average of n numbers look like this. Initially, actually, we declare three variable and sum as integer and average as float. Then we will take the input and depend on, and we are taking three integer type value or an integer type value into the ARR array. Then we just calculate the sum in the same loop. Then we just divide total sum by n and calculate the average. After that, we just print the value of sum and average. So write the program into the code blocks and see the output by your own. Please be careful when you are using array. First one is never use index starting from 1. Then never forget to include ampersand sign in scanf. And always remember about that. What will be your division results, and never use invalid array size. So we have just learned those topics from this lesson. Depend on the knowledge you have gathered already. It's time for doing homework. Just do it by yourself. Now it's time to look at two quick questions. First one is, why do we use loop with arrays, and what happens if n equals 0? Think about it, and this is the end of the lesson, and we will try to see about array traversal and basic operation and searching and sorting in upcoming days.